Well, UK PM Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron think they've hatched a plan to crack down on the hundreds of illegal boat arrivals happening every day. Joining me now is Reform UK councillor Darren Grimes. Darren, always lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me. The same day they announced this, some 700 small boats arrived. So it sounds like a dud from the beginning. Will it work?
Absolutely it does. You know, you've got Pound Shop Napoleon and then that bank clerk, Sir Keir Starmer. This idea that this is going to stop the boats, one in, one out. Nearly 700 illegals coming across the channel with Nigel Farage, by the way, in the English Channel, watching it all take place. And there were, out of a boat with about 78 people on it, there were 3 women and children. 3 women and children, the rest of them men. Now, where I'm from, Danica, in the northeast of England, we have cheaper housing stock than the rest of the country. So we are getting families, I say families, we are getting groups of men, 7 at a time, moving in to homes next door to young families. Imagine being that young family when that happens. So this grand idea, it's like the people smugglers are getting a memo saying, cheers, we'll send a flotilla to celebrate. You know, the pilot scheme is so puny that it'll amount to maybe, at best, 50 people a week being returned. So it'll deter absolutely nobody. Our borders are leakier than a sieve, and he calls this a breakthrough. It's a breakdown for Britain. That's what it is. The public are ripping it to shreds. They're calling it worse than a useless, frankly, than this attempt to actually halt the dinghy invasion. Compare it to some of the measures that were put in place in, dare I say, Australia. The idea that you would have turned to third countries and said to them, well, do you mind taking back at least 50 of them? The idea that would have stopped the boats, it's farcical. We are a weak nation. We are a laughingstock on the international stage. And it's all thanks to this Pound Shop Napoleon and this bank clerk of a Prime Minister.
Oh, look, I agree. It's almost like Keir Starmer's out of ideas. He's just spitting ideas willy-nilly now, Darren, hoping that something will stick, and clearly nothing is working. Now, Donald Trump is set to visit Scotland this month, and Keir Starmer is going to visit him while he's there. I must say, Darren, Keir Starmer is wasting no time integrating himself, while our Prime Minister here in Australia can't even get one meeting with Trump. But what's going to be on the agenda this time?
Oh, look, you know, it's somewhat ironic, isn't it, that fresh from bending over with the sort of centrist Macron of France, he's now going to have to cozy up to Donald J. Trump, who no doubt behind the scenes he calls worse than goodness only knows what. But he'll no doubt be slavering like a young puppy, Danica. One minute he's actually preaching NATO hikes and defending the West and Europe and arming Ukraine to the hilt. And the next, actually, he's talking about how he cannot control Britain's borders. And actually, he admitted that Britain had lost control of its borders. So perhaps he's going to be talk to Donald J. Trump about all of these things. But I hope Donald Trump, as has happened from the Trump administration, turns around and reminds Mr. Starmer that he needs to find his spine, that he needs to remember that we're supposed to believe in freedom of expression in this country. We have political prisoners of Mr. Starmer's in prison right now, today, at this moment. So whilst he might be trying to make out to Donald Trump that he's auditioning for MAGA membership, let's not forget that he's just as hysterical, as useless and incompetent as Kamala Harris was. So when the lefty-lovey meets the ultimate deal maker, I say pass the popcorn, and I hope this is Starmer's orange-tinted nightmare, Danica.
Look, I'm sure you'll be sitting there with your popcorn, Darren, and I look forward to getting a rundown from you at some point. Darren Grimes, always nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining me on the show this evening. Appreciate it.